Mira and HarlequinAudio present Murder by the Book by Amie Schaumberg, performed by Gail Shalan. To my sister, Landy, my first reader and biggest supporter. Chapter 1. A strand of yellow crime scene tape had broken free and struggled in the wind as Ian Carter trudged down the low hill to where an old barn waited in the long grass. The deserted farmyard was busy with law enforcement personnel weaving in and around each other like a well-rehearsed ballet corps, each one focused on their own part of the dance. The previous night's steady rain was dissipating, leaving charcoal-smeared clouds hanging low in the sky and rippling puddles reflecting a cold gray light across the landscape. The face of the barn was weather-beaten. Remnants of red paint just visible on the faded boards marked the building as a relic of another time. Ian felt like an intruder as he crossed toward it. At the center of the scene, his partner, Mike Kellogg, squinted into the hazy morning light as he watched Ian's careful progress down the hill. At 45, Mike was about a decade older than Ian, but his heavy body, strained by stress and hard use, made him look twice that. His flat, brown hair was thinning above a round face, incongruously dusted with freckles. "Morning, Starshine." Mike's deep baritone echoed crudely above the noise of the crime scene. "What have we got?" Ian asked. "What, no small talk this morning, Carter?" Mike caught Ian's eye, and he sighed. "Caucasian female, early 20s, no ID. Some high school kids found the body when they came out to the boondocks to enjoy a little beer and some weed. We've got some uniforms canvassing, but it's unlikely we'll get lucky there." Mike waved his hand across the empty field surrounding them. "Cause of death?" Ian pulled a pair of latex gloves from his coat pocket. "Waiting on the MAE, but what? Better if you see it yourself," Mike replied enigmatically, striding away from Ian. "There aren't words for this one." "That bad?" Ian asked, jogging after his partner. "Not so much bad as, well..." Mike slowed to a halt as he searched for a description. "Whoever did this is a special kind of bad shit." He shook his head and continued toward the inner perimeter of the crime scene, Ian following at his heels. Ian paused at the threshold of the barn, letting his eyes adjust to the dim light within. He scanned the large structure slowly, well-worn boards pulling against rusted nails, scattered hay too old for use, a battered wooden ladder leaning against one wall, bits of twine and leather lying helter-skelter, petrified chunks of manure, and a few abandoned tools rusting from disuse. It smelled of dust, mold, and the soft, sweet scent of decay. A swarm of scene-of-crime techs clustered at the far end. A few others paced slowly in parallel lines along the length of the barn, pausing periodically to mark and record something they thought might be important. The constant activity created a humming undertone that played beneath Ian's thoughts, like the drone of a bagpipe. As he approached, his step slowed as he tried to decipher the scene before him. Mike walked a careful path to the back of the barn, leaving Ian to follow. This part of the structure was different. The area was meticulously clean, the detritus having been swept from a large rectangular section by the rear door. The door itself had been painted with a bright mural, an idyllic scene that was jarringly at odds with the dim interior of the building. The image of a broad-leafed tree stretched from the ceiling to the floor, the board's texture giving it a discomforting realism. A frothy stream curled around the tree's roots and disappeared into the distance, its banks alive with a vibrant swath of flowers, a tangle of purple, yellow, white, and green. One of the painted tree's long limbs dipped nearly to the water, and from it hung what looked like a rope of the same flowers that colored the ground, braided and tied around the branch. It dangled partway down the trunk.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?